Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo. Can y'all hear me? Hello. Hey, can somebody in chat let me know if you can hear this sound? I want to make sure that y'all get all this, man. I see you, Finesse King, Virginia, in the building. Can y'all hear me? Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Somebody press 1 if you can hear me. Yo, yo, yo. Okay, man. I had to make sure, man. All right, cool, cool. Thanks, Michael Tanner, and thanks, James Jones, man. Now, I'm mad that you guys missed all that because I swear I was spitting that hot fire in that hot flame, but it happens to the best of them. Now, today, what I'm going to be talking about is a couple of different things, man. Now, is it too loud or is there a crazy echo? We good? Just let me know if it's too loud or if there's a crazy echo, and we'll start all over again, right? Bet, bet, bet. All right, man. So everybody, make sure you hit that like button because we're gonna talk about a couple of things today. And my bad for the inconvenience. It happens to the best of them. You know what I'm saying? I've been on many live, and it just happens. It's one of those things, man. Now, before we get too deep into it, man, let me see. I don't see any of my regulars yet, man. So we're going to continue, man. So today I wanted to talk about a couple of different things, right? I wanted to talk about the last 24 hours and what we've learned since then, right? And in hip hop, there's been a few lessons to take from this, right? So you had the situation, you just had a podcast that was released with Wack100. Now, Wack100 was able to go on this podcast and articulate himself in a way and show himself in a way that lets you know that he's the real deal, man. Now, usually I look at Wack100 with the side eye. I think about the things that Wack100 does, and I always think it's for some type of self-benefit or something like that, right? Well, it looks like Wack100 proved me wrong because he was on DJ Akademiks podcast, and I believe it's called Off the Record Podcast. And on the podcast, he said some pretty cool stuff. He was actually talking about, some real deal street stuff that we're going to get into. Now, the other thing we're going to talk about is this versus battle and some of the craziest moments that happened last night. Now, for those of you who don't know, I did a live video right after the versus battle and talked about everything that went down. I talked about pretty much everything that went down as far as the battle, the rounds, track selection, just the general vibe of it. And I called it early that the Louch had won. Well, it seemed like everybody on social media, everybody in the hip hop community, all the mainstream avenues, they all agree with that sentiment. They all went out on their own and were talking about the fact that the Louch pretty much washed Dipset up off of the map. You know what I'm saying? Did them dirty. All right, we got 82 viewers in here. Make sure you hit that like button, man. So I wanted to talk actually about some of the crazier moments. Some of the things that went down in the battle that were just wild, like the Juelz situation, the situation with Cam on the lawn chair and all that. And I wanted to play some videos to match all that, man. So actually, since that's a funner topic, let's get into that first and talk about the Louch and Jadakiss and all that. And then we'll get into talking about Durk and Wack100 and whatnot, right? Okay. And I appreciate everybody who's putting those ones in the chat. I feel you. What is that? Big Facts 14. You said Cam disappointed me by not performing. Stop calling. They playlist was too commercial. Yeah, man. That was a big argument from a lot of people. A lot of people were talking about the Dipset's playlist. Dipset's playlist was horrible. Let's be real. Nobody wants to hear some B-side, mixtape tracks that just never popped. Like, nobody wants to hear that stuff. And the Louch were, man, they have so many in the clip as far as commercial hits, as far as just straight up bangers that most people in hip hop know. it was an uneven match. When Jadakiss first said that, when they came out, I was like, all right, man, he's just tooting their own. They're tooting their own horn. But nah, man, it was definitely unmatched and uneven. Now, let's actually, man, everybody make sure you hit that like button, man. Please do. Looks like we only got 15 likes. We got 95 people. We can get that up to 50 likes. You know what I mean? But, man, let's actually start to look at these clips. So, let's check this out. And the first one I want to look at is the whole Julez Santana situation. Now, I'm going to preface all this by saying I am not going to be able to play the music or the audio on these, but I definitely want to actually, look at these clips and talk about them. So we'll get to that one next. That's Jim Jones falling off the stage. The very first one I want to look at is this right here. This is off of Nori's page, and this is the situation that happened between the Locks and Julez Santana. You see them pushing, man? That was crazy. That just goes to show, boom. And then you had Jadakiss throw his bandana on the ground. Next, you got Cam, looked like he was kicking Styles P, and you got Styles P trying to pull him off that beach chair, man. Now, the beach chair, everybody said that was a bad move regardless, man. But, man, when you go back and you look at these clips, like, let's look at this again. You see Juelz pushing his way through, man. And then Jadakiss grabbing it off his head and throwing it on the ground, man. Once again, you got Cam there on the beach chair, kicking at Styles P, and Styles P holding on to his leg for dear life for some reason. And then he got brolic with how he was standing. And Sheek Louch. Shout out Sheek Louch, man. I know that Sheek Louch is a good hype man, and he's a good member of the Locks. But besides all that, Sheek Louch has managed to keep a prison bill for over 20 years, man. I don't know how this dude did that, but it's amazing to say the least. Now, the next clip, man, let's do this. Let's look at this, man. And Nori posted another clip, man. He posted this clip right here of them getting into it as well on stage. Now, this is kind of moderate compared to the last two clips, but it goes to show how chippy they were or how much they were tripping with each other during this whole thing. The Locks looked at this thing like a total competition. They were coming in as a unit. They were coming in to destroy. You know what I mean? And Dipset, once they started to get on board and come together because they had no choice to, it was already too late. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Now, what's been funny about this are some of the memes as well that are floating on social media. And, man, before we get to the memes or even that picture of Jadakiss I was going to show, let's look at Jim Jones falling off the stage, man. Look at this. Boom. And I'm glad Jim Jones is okay. I'm glad he's all right. But, man, when you look at that clip, I didn't even notice that at first or notice that happened because he jumped up pretty quick. And he jumped up like it didn't happen. So shout out to Jim Jones, but boom. Wild, man. Wild situation, man. Now, the Locks definitely put on a better show, but the antics are going to live on forever in hip-hop. Watch. Because, like I said, there was a lot to be learned from the last 24 hours. There's obviously a difference between a dope MC and a rapper, man. And when you start talking about the Locks versus Dipset, I think that's the comparison to make. I think it's about who's a dope MC and who's a rapper. And I'm just going to play this one again because I like watching it. You see Juelz pushing through. And Jadakiss said, give me that bandana, and threw it on the ground, man. Now, Dipset has been catching a lot of flack on social media. People have been going at them, talking about them crazy on social media. And a lot of it is well-deserved because they were not prepared for the battle that they were in yesterday. But some of these clips, these antics, are amazing to say the least, man. They're going to live on forever. Now, this is one of the favorite pictures after the battle, where you have Jadakiss. He put this out here, and it's basically him posing like that Kobe pose. Like if you've ever seen the pose where Kobe Bryant is in the leather jacket after the Lakers won the championship, and he's got two bottles in his hand, this is the exact same pose. And that's why in the caption, Jadakiss put this. He put, the Black Mamba of the vocals, man. Letting it be known he's that dude. You know what I mean? Now, those were some of the craziest moments that I wanted to talk about because, man, you know, you don't catch everything on the first run. Like I said, last night when I did the after show or whatever, it was, you know, based purely off of the battle and the results in the battle as I saw them at the time. You know what I mean? I was thinking about, you know, the points, all that. I wasn't thinking about all this extra stuff, but man, what do you guys think about that? So let's dip in the chat, man. Let's dip in the chat and see what you guys are talking about. And sprinkle with some this. Where's my, what? Joanne Harris, I don't know what you talking about. You wildin'. I love pancakes. I love pancakes. Witty is lit for the news, always on time and clutch. I appreciate it, man. Y'all do me a favor, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Hit that like button. And I just wanted to talk about lessons. So the last 24 hours, we learned there's a difference between being prepared and being a real MC and being a rapper, man. And also, man, we learned about this whole DJ Akademiks Wack100 situation. Now, when I say DJ Akademiks situation, it's not a situation between those two. It's just DJ Akademiks has a podcast, that he's pushing out there now. Now, this podcast is pretty wild, man. To be honest, man, I think it's probably going to cause a lot of drama in the hip hop community. So I wanted to jump on it and talk about it early because it seemed that the interaction between Wack100 and the other rapper that was on the stage on the podcast with him was volatile at a lot of times, man. It was a lot going on between those two. You know what I mean? And I was tripping off the fact that Wack100 was able to keep his composure because it seemed like a wild situation, man, because the other rapper is wild and he'll do anything for clickbait. That's why I don't say his name. I don't do none of that. You know what I mean? Because I don't know, man. It feels like I cheapen what I talk about or do if I just fall directly into trolling. And there's nothing wrong with trolling. You know what I mean? Some of it is hilarious. Some of it is good for the culture. But I mean, to a point where people are getting hurt and stuff like that, man, I don't know if I could rock with it as much. And that's why I always down it in my videos. Sorry about that. Had to take a drink. Y'all do me a favor. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Man. Now, in this Lil Durk situation, what I wanted to talk about was the possibility of Lil Durk fighting the other rapper. So the other rapper was talking to Wack100, and Wack100 dissected this dude. He was basically asking him all the right questions that he couldn't evade without answering them, without giving him the answer that he needed to give him any type of validity in the street or what he does. Now, Wack100 is obviously well-versed at interviewing people and asking them about where they're from and really putting them up against, some real questions. And it seemed like dude was not ready for that because when Wack was asking his questions and was coming down on dude, you could see his mind racing. You could see him folding. And he was pulling at wild stuff. Like, there was an interaction between him and Wack where it was just talking about, like, where you're from and what is this? Somehow, or where you're from and who put you on. Somehow that steamrolled into Lil Durk. And it's because the other rapper brought Lil Durk into the situation. Now, Lil Durk had nothing to say about nothing in this. You know what I mean? He brought Lil Durk into the situation. And when he did, Wack responded correctly. Now, he talked about Lil Durk specifically. And what he said about Lil Durk was, as far as the guy that he knows, Lil Durk is certified in the real deal. Like, he can say that off the top, like from Chicago to whatever, Lil Durk is the real deal. He's really certified. It's no games. It's no joke with Lil Durk. Now, the rapper, he felt like he was stumped at that point. So he went to reaching about the King Von situation, why there was no retaliation. But essentially, Wack put it out there that, or put it on display that, you know what? That's none of your business. Like, that's not something you should even be worried about. And the reason that you're worried about that is you're scapegoating the situation that you're in currently. And I thought that was masterclass. Like, Wack100 basically gave a masterclass to that rapper on how you should, on how to answer questions with him. Because he's very good at avoiding, the real facts. Avoiding what's really going on as far as hip-hop is concerned. You know what I mean? Or as far as his rap career is concerned and the questions that people have of him. So when Wack made that change and went to interviewing him, went to talking to him within the interview, he almost didn't need DJ Akademiks as a mediator. And I was impressed by that. So I said, man, let me talk on this. Because Wack100 is legit doing this thing as far as this thing goes. You know what I mean? Now, hold up, man. All right, we got a lot of people in the building, man. Make sure y'all run them likes up, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, run those likes up, and we're going to look at a couple of things or talk about the rest of this. And what I want to do is, man, let me change this background image so that way you guys ain't looking at Jadakiss and the locks and talking about the battle. But, man, let me also look at the chat. Because, I mean, I want to give Wack his just dues and Lil Durk his just dues as well. There we go. Change it up. All right, man. So let's talk about Lil Durk. Now, Lil Durk, his position in the rap game, he's at a higher level than even that rapper. You know what I mean? Even though people might say what they want, Lil Durk is at the apex of hip-hop right now. So his interactions and the way that he's going to respond and react to other rappers is not going to be what other rappers want them to be. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And Cheeto Cambo in the chat. Yes. Yeah, man. Yeah. I don't like to use dude's name. So we'll say that. You know what I mean? But yes, that's exactly who we on. But it seems like Lil Durk has leveled up. And it seems like the other rapper was hurt about that situation. So because of that, he kept trying to find ways to slander Durk, man. He tried to slander his street cred. And then Wack100 responded, well, I know dude, and he's really certified. Like he's really, really about that or really from that. He couldn't win there. So then he started to talk about, a little bit about the other rapper and his past and how he retaliated or responded to situations that happened to him. And basically, Wack played this whole thing out to where he looked like a babbling fool. Like, I mean, if you go and watch it, and I hate to promote somebody else's stuff, but if I'm going to talk about it, I advise everybody to watch it. Watch Wack100, break dude down. Because at first, I was like, nah, man, I don't even like listening to dude talk. I don't want to hear nothing he got to say. But the way that Wack100 broke him down, it was interesting to say the least, man. He was really, really giving it to dude as far as just outsmarting him at each and every turn and letting him know that there's certain things that you say that's really running around the topic. But when we get to the heart of what you're talking about, it's a bunch of nonsense. You know what I mean? And it's been a long time since somebody was able to corner dude like that or even give him a real discussion, because sometimes he gets to play around these discussions and make it, and make it some type of drama or make it sort of animated to where he's not able to really talk about to where nobody really asks him the real about what's going on. You know what I mean? I thought Wack100 did a great job of that. So Lil Durk, fighting dude, never gonna happen, man. I said a lot just to get to this point too. Lil Durk is never gonna fight that dude, man. Lil Durk has so much going on. Let's think about it, man. Lil Durk has lost his brother recently. He just lost somebody else from his crew not too long ago, or at least who was signed to OTF a week ago. He's lost King Von. He's lost so many other people in his circle and around him that what in the world would possess anybody to think that he was going to focus on this rapper in a boxing match? And that's what it looks like, man. A lot of people have taken this fact that people are out here boxing for money, and they're trying to position themselves in a way to where they can fight the most high-profile rapper for the biggest bag. And that mess seems like it's wild, man. I can see it playing out with a lot more rappers in the future because Jake Paul and them, they basically made bank off that. They making a mint off that. My bad. Had to take a drink of my drink. But man, I'm not just here to monologue. You know what I mean? I want to actually get some interaction with the chat. So what do you guys think, man? All of you people listen to 226 people we got here live. What do you guys think about the fact that, you know what I mean? This said that. What? Yo, man, I swear I'm going to have to start getting some moderators in here because some of these comments is wild. But what do you really think about the fact that dude challenged Durk to a fight? And what do you also think about Wack handling dude in that interview? I mean, that was like I said, that was a masterclass on how to really expose somebody who ain't about that life and is talking a bunch of bull, man. Because basically, dude got exposed for those two things. And when I opened up in the intro, and some of you might have missed it, I talked about the fact that in the last 24 hours, we've learned a lot in hip hop. Number one, this has pretty much been Louch's day. Like every message board, every fan page, everything, man. Like hip hop involved. Even if there's forums still out there, they're all talking about the battle from last night and the difference between a true MC and a rapper. You know what I'm saying? And how that got exposed. Then you got a situation where you had Wack100 in this interview that got released with DJ Akademiks off the Road podcast, where he basically exposed that other rapper that he was on the podcast with. I mean, he was running around his point so much, it was ridiculous. I'm talking about each and every point got cut off, and I was impressed. And that's why, and even to DJ Akademiks' credit, he sat back and was like, man, yeah, dude is making more sense than you, you know? Like, dude is really, really putting it out there for real. Now, I wanted to turn to the chat and ask you guys, what did you think? If you've watched it, if you've seen it, what do you think about the interview or the podcast? And what do you guys think about, you know, the fact that there were so many crazy situations that happened in the battle last night? Now, I'm perusing through the chat, so if you want your chat to jump up to the top, you can send a super chat. I don't require that or anything to talk to y'all, but when you do, it does push it up to the top. So I'm going to go through the chat and see if I missed anybody or anything that anybody had to say. Zachary Brown said, I'm glad he called him out. Zachary Brown said, Wack100, his bluff. So I'm assuming you think that Wack100 called his bluff. I agree with that point. I think Wack100, 100%, no pun intended, called his bluff, man, and really made him look silly. And I was amazed because dude is really good at evading questions. He's a master troll. Like, if I was to give a troll degree, dude would have a master's or a PhD. And to see him cornered like that, to where he had to answer real questions about real street stuff and really devalidate himself, or, you know, I don't even know if that's the correct word to use. Devalidate yourself, or show that, you know, there was inconsistencies in what he was saying and what was reality. It goes to show that a lot of this is just a broad characterization, so that way he can continue to troll and make money, man. It was dope. It was dope. I think Wack100 called his bluff as well. You know what I mean? And then we have My Betty. This is the first time I caught you live. Yo, appreciate it. I don't go live much. This ain't my routine. I usually do videos where I'm stuck to, you know, one topic and I talk about it and explore that topic. And they're usually anywhere from 8 minutes to 10 minutes. But going live gives me an opportunity to interact, man. It gives me an opportunity to actually talk to people and see what's on your mind about topics that are hot and that are new. And this Lil Durk situation, getting called out by a rapper to a fight, I thought it was laughable at first, man. And hey, everybody in here, I see we got 219 people or 207 people in here. Could y'all all hit the like button, man? Make sure you hit the like button. We got 200 people. All 200 could hit the like button. So let's run them up. You know what I mean? So Joni Harris says, I got that smoke, make it funny, man. Got it. You rhyming. And I think you using, was that a Jadakiss line? Jadakiss got everybody going from last night, man. I see him on a lot of posts, a lot of people talking about Jada because of the performance that he put on. And even bloggers who usually don't even talk about hip hop subjects, they were breaking down the fact that they're, you know, the way that they were organized, the synchronization of the locks, it just shows, man. And how in the world do the locks look younger than Dipset? I know they're older than Dipset, man. I know they're older than Dipset. So how do the locks look younger? Is it because of Styles P and those juice bars? Is that what it is? They go to the juice bar? But I don't know. Somehow they look better, man, and they came out on top. I'm not gonna say that name. Yeah, dope channel. Y'all appreciate it. Joni Harris said, Witty, let me borrow 750. 750, man. Nah, man. I ain't got it. Like, I'm broke, man. I'm just as broke as y'all. You wouldn't believe me, but for real, man. This is just this is a hobby hustle or something that you do for fun because you love hip hop, and I love the interaction with hip hop and talking to fans of hip hop like myself. You know what I mean? I ain't got 750. You know, funny, man. What's good, Lil? All right, yeah, dope channel. Appreciate it. That's how you grab by its tail. MTM Beam Up, yo. MTM Beam Up. I agree, man. If you really want to corner somebody, and I saw your comment immediately, so good luck. If you want to corner somebody, that was the way you do it. Like I said, for anybody who's interested, go and check out DJ Akademiks' latest podcast. I know there's a lot of publicity around it, and a lot of people are tripping about it because of who's on there. But if you ever want to see a masterclass of cutting somebody off in a not cutting them off, but cornering somebody in a conversation to where they have to answer real questions when they're used to, not answering real questions, it's a masterclass. Wack100 did a great job. And like I said earlier, I touched on this for a second, but let's dive into it. Remember, when the other rapper and Meek Mill got into their situation, I did a series of videos. I did like 3 different videos back to back about that situation. A lot of them involved Wack100, right? Run those likes up for me, please. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure you hit the likes. A lot of those involved Wack100, right? Well, in those videos, I talked about the fact that I didn't agree with Wack100's stance on Meek Mill. Now, given time and thinking about what he said, when you have the Safari situation compared to the other rapper situation, yes, there's a certain way if you claim all that street stuff and you claim you a street dude, people would expect you to act accordingly, right? Well, the way that Wack carried that energy, I thought that maybe he was the type of person who was paid to play or, somebody who was for hire. And what he did is he actually showed that he stands on that. In his interview on that DJ Akademiks podcast, he showed everybody that he doesn't bend or waver, man. He actually stands on a lot of those things. MTM Beam Up. I appreciate it. Yeah, big facts. He stands on those things. So even though I disagree wholeheartedly with him on the Meek Mill issue back then, because I saw Meek Mill not really taking an L in that situation, I saw him as preserving his wealth and staying out of trouble. I do applaud Wack100 for keeping that same energy. He kept that same energy in this interview as well. The other dude was jumping up, running around, and he stayed stoic. He held his position, and it came off like he was in control of the whole situation. Like when he said things about himself being a street dude, you could believe it and you could see it, and there was no wavering. Like there wasn't one time that he felt shook or looked shook in the interview. So I was like, wow. So this dude really stands on all of this. This isn't just lip service with him, and I had to appreciate that. You know what I mean? Now let's jump back in the chat real quick. Check out Dom's now. What is that? Official Don Snow. Okay, is that your channel? I'll check you out, man. I watch everybody and everything. Official Billionaire Minds. Dude can't see things from anybody else's point of view but his own. And he gets upset, frustrated when he can't manipulate and force others to agree with him. Facts. Big facts. And the way that you can expose that is by staying stoic in your position. By letting somebody ramble off and get loud, even if they're not making sense. Because there was a lot of times he was talking to the camera and it just didn't resonate. You know what I mean? It didn't make sense with the conversation. It was just somebody babbling off about nothing. You know what I mean? So Official Billionaire Minds, that was on point. Official Don't Know, check out my last Eat video. I'm gone. All right, man. I'll check you out sometime. No doubt, man. Hopefully. I'll try to remember that. I'll definitely go back and watch this video and hopefully key in. So Omar Barnes said, in here, I feel you. Yeah, definitely. I hope you feel me about that point. And I hope everybody in here can, man, hit that like button, man. Run those likes up. I know y'all don't know how important those are, especially to a small channel. So if y'all could get the likes to 100, that would help out a lot, man. Make sure you run them likes up. And, man, let's see if we missing anybody else's chat. Now, basically, those are the two biggest subjects I wanted to talk about. The Lil Durk situation, getting, dude saying that he wanted to fight with Lil Durk or see Lil Durk. And Lil Durk, I'm sure, is not paying attention to none of that. I'm sure Lil Durk at this point knows that, dog, you lose more by engaging with dude than even, by trying to respond or anything like that. And that's something else that Wack exposed. He said, and I love this, he held him to firm positions about what he thought about things, and he made sure that he was standing on what he was saying, and dude was changing up what he was saying. I was like, wow, that's a skill. Wack, either from being a manager of artists or either just being a long-term street dude, he found that and learned that skill. You know what I mean? Thanks, Justin Curry. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the love. You know what I mean? Victorious Scorpio said, Mo says the cow. Wow. Yeah. And it said, and scary, his shows get canceled. Nah, I think dude's going to continue doing good in this rap game. I know he does spot shows. So when he does a show, this is it. It's usually in an area of people who are far from the urban environment or the inner city environment. You know what I mean? So those venues and stuff, they still might like his music, but as his music becomes dated, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to carry that on. But what he does is he's going to have to find a new artist to beef with. And once he finds a new artist to beef with, that's going to carry him on just a little bit longer. You know what I mean? That's for real. Ice Geo4 said, not big man doing lives. Funny, man. Yeah, I don't do lives often, but when I do, man, I appreciate you guys checking in. That's for real. And today, man, in case you guys are just getting in here, and I can look at the changeover rate, for those who are just getting in here, we talked about the lock situation, and I might actually go back to that video because, I just wanted to get everybody's input on what they thought about all these videos that have been popping out of all the crazy interactions at the Locks versus the Dipset battle. And we were talking about how Wack100 literally pinned down another rapper who was trying to get clout off of throwing Lil Durk's name out there. Like it was during DJ Akademiks podcast, and basically the other rapper was trying to get clout off of Lil Durk's name. He was putting Lil Durk's name in the mud, saying a lot of things about Lil Durk, and Wack100 pretty much put on a masterclass of how you handle a troll. Either you ignore them or you hold them to firm positions. And you have to be solid and stern in your own positions and believe in what you say. And it was good to see. I was impressed, man. I was actually impressed, man. Now, Justin Curry, thanks. Kevin Gardner said he gonna fall off. That's why he want to fight Durk. Yeah, man. I think that's a part of why he wants to fight Durk too, is the fact that, man, a lot of people don't mess with dude. And then a lot of streaming services and stuff, they don't mess with him either. Now, I'm iffy on a lot of that stuff. Like, I've got my own opinions about a lot of those things. I don't like seeing people get picked on and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So I don't like any of that, but I don't like somebody actually, putting other people in harm. Now, what was wild was the point where Wack would start controlling the room, right? And he asked dude to bring out his crew. And when his crew came out and you saw who his crew was, it was like, okay, this is your crew, man. These are the dudes who are holding you down through all this. Okay, you might need to keep getting security. Wack100 pretty much put it out there like, yo, man, I don't know about them dudes. Like, I'm not saying that they soft or anything like that. I don't know them personally. But just based off of the optics, you might need to get your security back, man, because that ain't looking good. Now, some of the keys I picked up in the whole interview was this was filmed around the same time as Rolling Loud. So this was released from, I guess, what was Rolling Loud, a week ago or maybe 2 weeks ago. And it looked like, man, I know that studio from another podcast. I swear I know that studio from another podcast that I've seen before. And I was waiting for him to confirm that fact, but they didn't say it. So, man, actually, man, do you guys want to go back to these Locks clips? Let's go back to that, man. Then we'll get back on why Lil Durk is not going to fight 6ix9ine. You know what I mean? Or why Lil Durk should avoid this whole situation with, man, I said dude's name. Man, I try not to say dude's name at all, ever. And just because of that, do me a favor. Make sure y'all hit that like button. because I know it's gonna be some funny stuff with this video now. So make sure you run them likes up, hit that like button, everybody hit that like button. And Omar Barnes said on throwbacks for show. Crocavelli G said Camron tried to drop a freestyle and failed. Yes, man. That was another point, man. When Camron tried to freestyle and the crowd was giving him boos. They were giving him big boos, man. Like the crowd was just booing Camron so much, man. I was like, wow, man. Y'all really lost tonight. Like when your hometown crowd, and even when they came out, remember when Dipset came out, they were like, yo, this is Madison Square Garden. You know, I'm pretty sure that's Manhattan and Harlem. It's the same, right? Or almost the same. Rock with me. They said this, not me. They said, this is our hometown. Y'all on our home turf. You know what I mean? And your home turf booed you, dude, man. And this is crazy. I had Dipset winning. Going into this. And like everybody else, I was taught a lesson. There's a difference between a real MC and a rapper. And Jadakiss, Styles P, and Sheek Louch are some MCs. They are masters of ceremony. They know how to control the mic. They're mic controllers. They know how to really make things happen on that mic, regardless of what. And that's the big difference, man. When you see somebody who's a true MC with stage performance or anything, I'll even give Bow Wow his credit in his battle verse Soulja Boy. You could tell the synchronization between him and his DJ was on point. And with the locks was the same thing, even to a higher degree, man. The way that they synchronize between the three of them and the DJ, it's poetry in motion, man. It's flawless. It is flawless. And that's a big difference between an MC and a rapper. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of rappers in the game. When you go to their show, it'd be some straight boo-boo, man. And I hate to even do that because I be trying to big cats up. But, man, when you go to that show, it'd be some straight boo-boo, man. You be like, okay, dog, you just showed up here drowsy off of whatever you on, and you just bobbing to the beat like us and just chanting into the mic. And, you know, maybe your song goes like that, but what are we paying for? You know what I'm saying? And that's easy at a club because everybody in the club is usually already under the influence of something or whatever, you know? So it comes over a little better. Everybody gets in the same zone. They feel that. A club show's a little different. But to go in a concert, have just nothing but the beat playing, or either drop and go a cappella and do the song, use an MC. And you have everybody's eyes on you and they get involved in the process to where they feel what you're doing and what you're saying. That's a talent. That is a real skill. You know what I'm saying? That is real skill, to be real with you, man. Yo, y'all keep running them likes up, man. Everybody in here, make sure you hit them like button, hit that like button, man. Man, let's actually go back to those clips. Because I see that the changeover rate has been a lot. I just want to go and play this clip again. Plus, I like seeing this mess, man. It's funny to me. So, what was it? And this is off of Noriega's page, The Real Noriega. And I'm not going to play the audio, but you can see there where Jadakiss and Styles P are in a pushing match with Julez Santana, and he shoves them hard, and Jadakiss grabs a bandana and throws it on the ground, man. Then you have the kicking situation with Camron kicking Styles P, and then Styles P holding on to his foot for dear life, man. Which was wild. I was like, wow, man. All this was going on without us even noticing it. Then you had this. You had Jim Jones falling off the stage. Watch him pop up, man. This is funny, man. Watch him pop up. He pops up like He-Man. Like ain't nothing in the world happened, man. Boom. Shout out to Jim Jones for being able to play that off, man. Because, I mean, I barely caught that myself. I don't know if anybody else live caught that. Even if in my after show, I didn't talk about any of these incidents. So that's why I wanted to talk about them today. Or at least show them and, you know, get everybody's opinion. But I don't think, man, all those things, they ended up making Dipset look bad. And to be real, Dipset did come off looking kind of bad in all these situations, right? But I still don't feel like Dipset, you know, that takes away from their skill on the mic. as far as like their tracks and everything, they just picked the wrong songs. They picked the wrong songs. They weren't together. They weren't a unit. They didn't know how to really rock a show. They thought swag and gimmicks was gonna pay off, and it didn't, man. Especially when you going against the Lox. At this point, I can't think of anybody who could beat the Lox, and I wonder if any of you guys could think of anybody who could beat the Lox. Because by the time the Lox got to track number 32, I believe it was like on my sheet, it was like round 32 officially. You know, if you were going song by song. No, they still had songs that they were winning Grammys on in the tuck. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, man. The Lox is crazy. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button, man. But yeah, that's what we first opened up with talking about. And then I got into the Lil Durk situation with Wack. You know what I mean? Now let's dip into the chat. So the chat is talking about, you wrong. Philip Reed. Nah, man. That's Philip Reed. Nah, man. That's real deal, man. That was real deal. Brick Summer Hill says, Lox absolutely 100. Yes, definitely. Official Billionaire Mind says, dead. Ramel says, hands off for real. Yeah, man. Yeah, Dipset DJ even fumbled the ball. Yeah, man. And their DJ. How in the world your DJ ain't coming with it, man? Like, the DJ ain't coming with it either? Like, y'all should have just packed it up, man. Now, what I will give Jim Jones credit for is him and everybody, man. They shouted out the Lox afterwards, and they just, you know, they bent the knee, man. They said, forget it, man. We took defeat in this one. That's for real. All right, C.J. Johnson. Them boys was loaded. Yeah, man. It did seem like Dipset might have been, you know, having too much fun backstage before they came out, before they all staggered out, because it was something to see. Show W, they let Jim play too many Bird Gang joints. Yes, man, Jim Jones tracks. I mean, there was Ballin', that's a definite. Like Ballin', yes, play Ballin'. That's got to be in the playlist. It's one of their biggest songs, you know what I mean? And it's a crowd starter. Like, you saw how the crowd went. But what's wild is some of those songs that really got the crowd wild, man, they shut those things down quick, super duper quick, man. And it was really getting on my nerves, to be honest with you. It was like you couldn't even vote for him if you wanted to. All Gang says, Lox murdered Dipset. Facts. That's big facts. You know what I mean? What y'all think about this Durk situation? Do y'all think Durk should fight the other rapper, or should he just keep ignoring him? And I'm gonna ask you guys that question. Then I'm gonna give my opinion and say, no, Durk needs to just keep ignoring dude like everybody else. If you ignore him, he'll go away. Like, it's just like that. Now, Wack100, and only reason I'm talking about dude today is I just want everybody to just take a lesson from what Wack100 did today, you know, in that podcast. Wack100 basically gave a masterclass on how to dismantle a troll, like holding them firm to positions and making sure that you're stoic in your own positions and standing your ground. You know what I mean? And giving questions that you just can't escape from without straightforward answers. And when you can do that, you can find a lot about anybody. I was like, man, was Wack an interrogator before in his past life? Dude was really cutting dude down, man. It was interesting to say the least. And I like this and I am not writing DJ Akademiks Jacques or nothing like that. I don't know dude, nothing like that, right? But what I do like is he played the middle. He let them talk between each other and battle it out. And where I thought it was going to be somebody folding on their position, it wasn't, man. They actually left that whole conversation still stuck in their own positions, and man, nobody bent to anybody. You know what I mean? And I was like, wow. And really, Wack painted dude out to be a fool. So that's why he pulled Lil Durk's name into this. That's why he put Lil Durk out there. And Lil Durk, man, dude is not a blip on his radar. When you're on the top of hip hop, you're at the very top of rap. I'm sure people throwing shows at Lil Durk left and right that he's probably got to turn down more shows than he takes. So do you think Lil Durk is going to take out that time to go and box somebody? No. He'll make that money probably, or whatever money. Now, I don't know. The bags that they're giving out, though, it makes me think. But I think Lil Durk got better things to do. You know what I mean? All Gang said Killer messed up the freestyle, too. Yeah, everybody was talking about that earlier, about Killer Cam messing up the freestyle. So Dope Action Big Facts 614 said Durk would be beating people up in the ring and people still say he saw it. I will say that I do a lot of Lil Durk videos. I mean, a lot of Lil Durk videos. And there is no shortage of comments saying that Lil Durk is soft, man. Y'all hit that like button, man. Make sure you guys hit that like button, run them likes up, man. Let's see if we can get to 150 likes to make sure, spread this video around, man. But yeah, man, I'll agree that a lot of people don't give Lil Durk his credit for anything, man. He said, All Gang said, man, real talk, he said, dude might beat Lil Durk up. Now that would be wild. That would really, Lil Durk's career would definitely take a hit if he took an L to dude, man. If he took an L to dude, his career would take a phenomenal hit, man. So that's why it's not beneficial for Lil Durk to fight dude anyway. But they did bring up 600 Breezy. What about 600 Breezy? Now 600 Breezy might be out of dude's weight class by 80 pounds or something like that. But that was an option as well. And I was surprised that Wack100 brought up 600 Breezy as an option. And he let it be known that 600 Breezy ain't afraid of the fade. He actually want the fade. He said, Gigi Molina, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. You said Durk literally knows how to box. Okay. Gigi Molina said real professionals boxers even said Durk got hands for real. Wow. I didn't know that. I didn't even know that. Is that facts? Is Lil Durk really skilled in the boxing ring? Like, can he really box for real? Like on the where pros would be like, yo, Lil Durk got hands like that? That's a broad claim, man. To say somebody got hands like that to where, you have people who are saying, yo, dude could literally box. That's saying a lot. And Junior HD says, Durk ain't slide for Vine yet. And that was the point the other rapper brought up. He talked about the fact that Durk ain't slide for Vine. And you know how Wack100 responded to that? Was perfect, man. He said, I don't know what he's doing. Like, we don't know what Durk is doing. Hopefully, Durk is not involved in any of that. I got to preface this. I got to say this. Hopefully, Durk is not involved in anything to deal with anything like that, right? But to be honest, we don't know. Durk could be calling all sorts of shots. We would never know because Durk limits what he says on social media. Now, he does diss people in songs. So I guess you would think that that was a contradiction, but it's not really. They've been dissing in songs forever. You know what I mean? Dissing in songs is part of that drill culture. But him actually going on social media and talking about real deal stuff, I don't think you're ever going to get that from Lil Durk, man. Never. You know what I mean? If he's smart, And Durk doesn't seem too stupid, All Gang said there's no weight class in the streets, period. Yeah, and that's facts, man. There's no weight class in the streets in jail. They used to always say that. Because if you go to jail, you got to be able to handle your business. And if you're in the streets, you got to be able to handle your business. You know what I mean? In both arenas. That's why back in the day, in them old school movies, you used to see, me and one of my homeboys was just talking about this. You used to see dudes who are really about that life. They would always be in the yard lifting weights, getting all super swole, because they knew eventually they're going to have to see them bars, you know what I'm saying? And when they walk in there, they want to walk in there right, you know what I mean? My bad. I need that water, man, hitting that water. All right, so Dad Hat Lydia, funny name, that's a funny name. They just say that because he ain't caught a body that the internet know about. Yeah, so Dad Hat Lydia, she said that a lot of people say that about Lil Durk because it's not like Lil Durk has caught a body that everybody on the internet knows about, man. And if he did, I don't want to know it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to know it. And Lil Durk, what he's doing and him sliding for Vine, I don't know. I don't know if you could put that all on Lil Durk's head. Like, is Lil Durk the only person in that crew? Is Lil Durk the only person that's down with it, whoever he's down with or whatnot? I know him and Vine had a good rapport, a good friendship. And, they were tighter than friends. They were Cody's on the case and all that. But Lil Durk is at the top of hip-hop right now, and he might have some other concerns. You know what I'm saying? Dad Hat Lydia said, DDG and Snapdog 2, real boxers. Yeah, I seen Snapdog. I know for a fact, Snapdog from Detroit is a real boxer. Like, he was a boxer before he started rapping. Like, I know that for a fact. DDG, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I saw DDG handling himself in that fight, and he won that fight that he was in the TikTokers versus YouTubers. But I don't know, the punches look clean. It's just, I don't know if he's really that skilled. You know what I mean? Chris Tuco said, nah, them backwoods ain't helping his hands. Facts, man. Anybody who's a smoker or who got a habit, man, I don't think that go hand in hand with the mixing it up. But you never know. You never know. Lil Tim alive and smiling. Junior HD. Now you trolling, man. You definitely trolling. One of one said, what Wack say about Lil Durk? I'm on my lunch break and just joined. Now, okay, man, so we can go back. That's actually no problem. So Wack100 basically talked about the fact that, for what he knows, for all intents and purposes, Lil Durk is really about what he claims he's about. He's really from the streets or whatnot. He's really from the neighborhood, he claims. And Lil Durk would definitely see 6ix9ine on the real. You know what I'm saying? But he said that's the Lil Durk that he knows. But me personally, I don't think it would be beneficial to Lil Durk in any way to see dude, man. And man, I said his name again. Man, run the likes up every time I say his name because I be trying to avoid it. Because now I know the video going to do something crazy and ain't going to get out to everybody. So if you could, man, if you're listening right now, please hit that like button, man. Please hit that like button, man. Run them likes up if you can. Let's try to get up to 150 or something like that. But yeah, and basically Wack100 cornered dude into talking about, points that he wanted to talk to him about. He held him to a certain position and pretty much made him fold on a lot of his positions, which was odd. Usually when dude gets into comments and he's talking to people, he usually gets to, wiggle. He makes himself enough wiggle room to where he doesn't get held to the standard of other people or the standard that he projects on other people and other rappers. You know what I'm saying? And then ends up blaming the rap game and the street dudes and all that. When, essentially that's something that he signed up for. It was basically Wack100 gave a masterclass on how to corner a troll and defeat him in an argument. It was dope. Besides ignoring him. You can always ignore a troll. Like, ignoring a troll, that works too. D30 said, any updates on E-Day case? No, there was an article that was actually published earlier today that I was reading on E-Day's case. But I didn't see anything about, any leads. Like, most of the leads in E-Day's case that I've seen out there are rumor. Like, it's rumor. It might be in some small articles, and it's involving other rappers. I'm not going to get specifics because the specific name because of the persons or the rapper. But it's people that he's had past beefs with, and none of that is true to my knowledge, man. It's all made up. So far, mostly rumors that started online. Now, if something cracks off with E-Day's case, I'm going to be on it. And I'm going to be reading the article and reporting that to you guys as fast as possible because it seems like an odd situation, even the setup. And even the Sun Times article from Chicago? The Chicago Sun Times. My bad. Let me get my news organizations right. Their article was bland to say the best. Most of the articles that came out within the last 2 days repeated each other, and I didn't see any updates unless y'all saw something that I'm missing, and I do this actively. You know what I'm saying? All gas, no brakes. What's up, man? Yeah, I see you in the building. You know what I mean? Sean W. said DDG is an actual boxer, too. Now, like I said, in the TikTokers versus the YouTubers battle, DDG held his own. He did his thing. Don't get me wrong. I just didn't know that he had hands like that, like boxing. Like I know Snapdog for real was a boxer, like legit. Like every interview, even his old boxing coaches and stuff like that, Snapdog was definitely a boxer. I thought he went back to boxing for a second there. Evan said, forget your likes, man. Forget my likes, like forget my couch, huh? But nah, for real, in all honesty, if you guys could hit that like button and run those likes up, that would be great. You know what I mean? Now, GG Molina from the NOLA. My bad. Every time dude feels pressured, he brings up Durk or Vaughn. The thing is, dude was really a fan of Durk. So I guess Durk calling him a snitch hurt his soul, I guess. Yeah, man. Now, he made a point of saying that he only talks about rappers who talk about him. Now, him responding to rappers and dissing rappers that talk about him, I don't have no problem with that, right? But the problem is he continually brings these people up. When if he used the same logic that he projects on others, like just ignore me. Just ignore me. If they have a problem, just ignore me. If he just ignored them, it wouldn't even be an issue. You know what I mean? Because even Wack brought it to his attention like, yo, man, when you first started your parade talking about LA and dissing LA and all that, man, when you really started going in on LA, nobody in LA was thinking about you, dude. Like, nobody. Like, zero. I know this is me talking his way. He basically said, I know the ins and outs, the big dudes in every crew and every whatever. You know what I'm saying? You was not on anybody's radar, dude. And that shut him down, man. Sometimes the truth, you know, you hit somebody with a little bit of truth, it'll shut them down and shake up their opinion, to be real. And, man, Wack basically, you know, he lifted that veil for him to where he even started to see the inconsistencies in his own story. And when he started to get cornered with situations where he had to either tell the truth and answer a straight question, he would jump off to antics, like jump up and down and stuff like that. I said, okay, this is like dealing with a child, man. Dude is a master troll. He's very good at that. You know what I'm saying? But if you're like Wack, man, and you're able to really break things down to the basics and really see things for what it is and who it is, you could really outmaster all that, man. And that's a skill. And I had to give Wack his credit on that. That is definitely a skill. You know what I mean? And Wack did a great job of just breaking him down, staying stoic in his position, and basically saying, that's some fugazi, that's some bull. We need a better answer than that, or a real answer. And dude ended up looking silly, to be real. So that's why he brought Durk into the situation and started talking Von. So you're correct. Every time he gets cornered on one of those situations, he'll shoot for the lowest. He'll shoot at the lowest common denominator. You know what I'm saying? That's for real. Let me see what's up. They diss him first. Junior HD. I know some people diss him first. Yeah. I'll agree to that. Like, a lot of people diss dude first. You know what I mean? And if somebody diss you first, man, snap back. I ain't mad at that. I'm going to keep it real. I ain't mad at that. What's annoying is when you start to use that as a crutch to stay relevant. You know what I mean? Like, it should be no more than them saying something, you saying something. But using that as a crutch to stay relevant, it just shows that you don't have anything else to bring to the game. You know what I mean? Florida Boy 1904. Von and Durk bring up Tuka, Melly, etc. Why can't dude? Okay, and that's fair as well. That's fair as well. So, hold up. I'm trying to understand your logic. So you're saying since Von and Durk bring up those names that you mentioned right there, which is one of those, I'm pretty sure everybody has stopped mentioning because, you know, it's pretty much all throughout hip hop. People are like, nah, that's not cool. Because, you know, you're basically talking about a tragedy, you know, with that situation. The other cats, I don't know, man. I'm stuck on that opinion. I have to really give that a thought, man. Sancho Trap says, what's good, big man? Like what you doing, how you give us the news 100, much respect. I appreciate it, man. And I love doing news stories about hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Especially when crazy things happen in hip hop, real, you know, wild stuff that takes place, like it's crime and stuff like that. I found that stuff interesting a long time ago and I was on hip hop forums back when there were forums and stuff like that, like say like the all hip hop ill community and stuff like that. Long time before, always interested in hip hop news and stuff like that. So I love doing those stories. I love giving up that news. I love that, man. So I appreciate the love, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button too, man. Don't cheat me on the likes, man. GG from the NOLA says, Durk ain't mentioned bro name since the Drake song, and that's a while ago. Yeah, man. Now, mentioning somebody on a song is wild because, you know, there's almost an unwritten rule in hip hop that if somebody disses you on a song, you immediately diss them back. You go at them back. Like, there is no bending, folding, or wavering from that fact. If somebody diss you on a song, you diss them back. That's why Drake and Meek, I know they're cool now, and I'm not trying to drum up any drama, But Drake had no choice but to come straight at dude. Like, yo, you diss me? Nah, man, we coming at you. Oh, you don't have a response? Okay, so here we coming back again. You know what I mean? Or back to back. And that's how you get that. You know what I mean? Junior HD said they diss for. Okay, I got that. Florida Boy 901. Don't matter when he did it. He still was bringing Duck name up. His mama asked for him to stop. And I agree. I agree 100%. And I don't think since Durk made a he made a post or an official statement on social media, right? Or an unofficial statement on social media, and let it be known that after his deluxe album came out for The Voice, he was going to stop dissing. And to my knowledge, he stopped. I don't think has he added Duck's name since then? I don't think so, man. I don't think he has. Because think about it, Should Have Duck was on the deluxe. So since the deluxe, I don't think Lil Durk has dissed anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I just don't see it. I don't think so, man. Y'all make sure y'all run them likes up. I'm running through these chat comments. One of one says facts to stay relevant. Yeah, facts. Big facts. Like, you just basically carrying on beef to stay relevant. And Wack100 exposed that, man. Like I said, please go watch that whole thing. It's long, though. Like, it took me a while to listen to the whole thing. But I really wanted to get to the gist of all of his positions, man. Really understand the motivation behind that. And then after Wack did what he did and pretty much broke down everything from a solid position, from a real street dude position, you started to see the loopholes and everything. It was like, man, this is just trolling, man. Dude is just trolling. Like, that's what it comes down to, man. Like, there's none of this. Even when he's talking serious and trying to look, it's manifested. It's made up. It might even be a little bit rehearsed. And he's just trying to draw your attention through emotion, man. He's trying to emotionally draw you in so that way you can stick to his position, man. He's good, man. He's good, man. Now, there was a talk about manipulation. If Wack is a good manipulator or if Dude is a good manipulator. But they both, had their time where, Akademiks was pretty much turning the tables on each one of them and giving them an opportunity to state their position. And it just exposed a lot of the things that he says. And I was surprised. And when he brought up Durk, I was surprised. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Now, one of one said Durk and Von was born into the gang life and can't shake it. Dude, I laughed at that name that you got him. Dude running their name up like the Pizza Hut. If y'all some whatever fans, then just say that. Yeah, man, he's got a lot of fans, and there's nothing wrong with being Dude's fan. Like, don't get that wrong. Don't get that wrong. I don't want anybody to lose their fans. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the real, don't compare yourself to that when the real is in your face, and you don't have anything to combat that. You don't have anything to go at that. You know what I mean? Because, the real is real. And Wack, that's what I said. Like, I opened up with a monologue where I talked about in the last 24 hours, we learned about some things. We learned there's a big difference between a rapper and an MC through the Louch Dipset battle. And we learned that there's a difference between the real and the fake. There's a difference between trolling and keeping it really, really G. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Wack100 pretty much exposed. He exposed all of that. You know? Oh, okay. One of one says, I watched all of it, but it seemed like it's episodes. Yeah, I think that was episode 1. I think that was episode 1 to be exact. Marcus Sanders says, Chicago is Chicago business. Dude ain't got nothing to do with that. Yeah, man. He basically uses that as a talking point, man, to keep himself relevant. You know what I mean? And that's what it got broken down to. Anybody can see that, man. I'm telling you, Wack100 was in there playing some mental gymnastics, and it was amazing to see. I was impressed. Like I said, I did not agree with Wack100 on the Meek Mill thing. I just didn't. I thought Meek Mill played that how he was supposed to play that, and for the benefit of himself and his wealth and all that. But when it came to this, I saw that he had the same position. I saw his position didn't waver, and I saw that he was definitely putting the same energy out there when he talked to Dude. So I was like, okay, that's a respectable dude right there. That's somebody you could actually you can rely on him being the same dude regardless. Now, Muddy said, hand claps. Yo, that's what's up. That's what's up. Junior HD says, dude pressed Meek. Then Meek ran to the YouTube police to get dude's video removed. Yeah, that's a way of putting it. That's a way of putting it. But, you know, if he was using his likeness in a damaging way and he didn't like it, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a toss-up. The Meek situation is a toss-up because I understand Meek not being drawn into somebody else's plan. Like, you never, from a strategy point, if you're walking into an ambush or into a situation that you don't understand or know, running in like a crash test dummy is not the best way or best move to go. Crashing out is not the best way to go. Take a step back and think about your move and then figure out what you're going to do. But when the video and all that came out, you found out that was the whole reason for the interaction. That was the reason for the phones being up, so that it could be used as a prop in a music video to gain more viewers and followers. And that's all that was, man. Now, Meek's action or the action of his team afterwards, when the video was up, I don't agree with, because that's you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you just make your own video, you know what I mean? And then one of one said, that is true. Oh, well, yes, that's his homeboy, man. That is definitely his homeboy. I think, you know, they cool, man. They cool. And, you know, if you cool with somebody and that's your homeboy, you really can't, you know, you try to do your best to stay in and play in the middle, but you can really never truly be a moderator sometimes. But I will give Act credit. He was a great moderator in this situation. And he shut down some of his dude's positions as well. P. Duncan said, troll era in full effect because of social media. Even the mute have a voice and the weak now tough. That's true, man. A lot of people can claim a lot of things, man. They can claim being street dudes and all that. And there's a lot of dudes, man, in the business I do, man. And what I do, if for those of you who listen to my videos all the time and see the reports that I do, you know, I do a lot of stuff on the back end to do some research and digging up or whatever, man. Old articles, you know, old reports and stuff like that. Like, you know, and man, some of the dudes who are really real don't even say it. They don't even talk about it like that. It's amazing how that works out. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing. They don't even get into details and in depth like that. Prolific TV, what's up, man? I see you. One of one said, facts, Marcus has fans gonna back him. Yeah, man. Dude's fans is gonna back him. I mean, if you're a fan of an artist, that's how it goes, right? You're always gonna have their back. You're always gonna share their position and put them out there like they're the best thing since sliced bread, man. That's for real. Sean W says, one of one says, so what does that got to do with? Okay, so I see you guys are just arguing amongst each other in there. Could you guys do me a favor? Everybody who's listening, make sure you hit that like button. Daryl Bolton says, why haven't went at Lil Tim? Okay, now when it comes to the Lil Tim situation, that gets tricky. And excuse me, man, I'm drinking this water and stuff. That gets tricky because the whole Lil Tim situation, that's a real deal situation, man. I mean, everybody's seen the video. Everybody's seen the police report. Everybody's seen the articles. Everybody knows what that is for real. You know what I'm saying? So anything about that is not only being watched by us as fans, not only being watched by us as bloggers, it's being watched by everybody you could think of and imagine. So that's the proper context to put that into, if you feel me. You know what I'm saying? Daryl Bolton, why Durk haven't, I already talked about that. Thanks for the comment though, Daryl Bolton, Junior HD. But Meek rap like he about that, said he going, man, he go like the chopper like Kobe. Yeah, Meek is a great rapper, man. He's talented, man. He's got skills. He hasn't dropped an album in like 3 years, and I think he still has over 10 million viewers, or, you know, 50. I think last time I checked, maybe 12 to 15 million monthly listeners on Spotify. So dude is a talent. He's an artist. His music jams. People like him. But as far as everything else, you know, in his raps, it's just like everybody else, man. Like what's my dude from Florida? My two dudes from Florida with the colorful hair. Man, I can't think of their names right now, man. You know, they were super duper hot 3 years ago, man. Lil Pump. Lil Pump and his homeboy, man. When they were talking about running around with choppers and all that, come on, man. Let's be real. Do you really believe that? So if you're going to hold Lil Pump to a standard, you got to hold Meek to that same standard so that way you keeping that same energy. You know what I mean? But I mean, I get your point, but you got to really look at that. It's entertainment. And Wack actually made that point as well. It's just entertainment, dude. You know what I mean? Now, are there dudes in entertainment who really about that life? Recently? Yes. But as you notice, man, a lot of them are getting locked up. A lot of them are catching historic RICO charges. Like YFN Louch, if you guys don't know, his state RICO charge with the GBI, he's wrapped in one of the biggest RICO charges they've ever had in Georgia State. You know what I mean? It pays a price, man. There's a price to living like that life. You know what I'm saying? So, and then Junior said, okay, I already read that one. Duncan P. Duncan says, I say too much lane switching. Gotta learn to stay in your lane. Live your truth, and the same things not for everyone. Exactly, man. Like, we act like there's not a Kendrick Lamar and a J. Cole in this rap game. Like, their lane has nothing to do with the streets. And that is an amazing lane to be in. The thing is, the street rap has taken over in the last 2 years, and it's really come into prominence the last year because there was a lot of street rappers that are dope. King Von was dope. Lil Durk is dope. There's a lot, Lil Baby, and I hate to even put Lil Baby in that box or Lil Durk in that box, but you know, that's their closest association. You know, a lot of people would say Lil Baby's more of a mumble rapper, but you know, he's kind of a street dude too. You know what I mean? And it's just a lot of those dudes. Rowdy Rich really ain't a street dude either like that. You know what I mean? But you know, he talks about that type of stuff. It's entertainment at the end of the day. Now, when it gets real and there's stuff that really goes down, that's where I get to go into work, man. That's when I start doing stories about it and stuff like that. So Robert O'Neill said, what's with NBA Youngboy? All right, so the last time I checked with NBA Youngboy's case was the last story I did. And I think on the last NBA Youngboy story, their bond got denied again. So his last bond that he tried to, or his lawyer tried to go in for, it got denied. Wow. Let me see something. Hey, man, this is wild. Hold up, man. Well, it looks like we're gonna have to wrap up early, man. I'm glad everybody tuned in, man, and they were able to get in their questions. But I'm gonna have to end the stream real early. So if you do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button on your way out. And I appreciate everybody that showed up. And also, man, make sure you hit that notification button so that way you can get that notification every time I drop this hot content. And this your boy Big Man, and we out. Peace.